Since you play a video game developer in Free Guy, Millie, I wanted to know if in everyday life you are also a video gamer, or is it a word, that or video game, that you feel somehow distant from you?
Yeah, I think my brothers played a lot of video games growing up, so I dipped in and out. I'm not a huge gamer. That was kind of my homework when coming to play Millie. I had a PlayStation in my apartment, and I had various different video games just to ensure that I looked like I knew what I was doing. But I definitely, I really appreciate the gaming world now in a new way. I didn't realize just how big the community is, to be honest. It's kind of incredible.
Yeah. And I love Millie's ambivalence in the movie, because she's a sophisticated nerd with healthy ideals in reality, and a real badass in Free City. Mm-hmm. And do you recognize yourself a little in her character?
Yeah, I guess I must do. I really admire Millie's determination.
Yeah.
She also says she has a weird, funny sense of humor, and I think I'm like that myself. I think I'm probably furthest from Molotov. I can't beat a man down in the way that she does. And I don't have her, slow motion, cool, sophisticated walk. That's not me.
And Free Guy is also a pretty cool contemporary, nerdy love story. Indeed, if we want, there is also a love triangle between your character and those of Guy and Keith. And I wanted to know what was like for you to work alongside Ryan Reynolds and Joe Keery in this fun summer blockbuster.
Yeah, I mean, they're both wonderful. I've been a huge fan of both of them. I'd recently watched Stranger Things, and I've watched Ryan's movies for a long, long time. So it was definitely a pinch me moment. And then, to meet them and for them to be so kind and generous on and off set, was great. I feel like me and Joe spent the majority of the time trying not to laugh at Ryan and Taika and everyone else. Which was great. They were good days on set.
On screen, is there a very good feeling?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I hope so. I hope people feel that, because it was so much fun to make. So to hear that people are actually enjoying it as much as we did making it, is like, that's all we could have wished for.
And I want to ask you, it was since 2040 that you did not return to directing a feature film, passing over a movie like Uncharted. And which was the element of Free Guy that more than others convinced you to go back behind the camera for a future film?
Well, part of it is that when you're working on Stranger Things every day, it would require a great movie to make me distracted. I love working on Stranger Things, and so I said no to a lot of movies. The thing about Free Guy was it had a big, juicy idea, and it was a collaboration with an actor and a star that I really wanted to work with. So that was the opportunity that I couldn't resist.
Okay. And the gap between cinema and video game is getting shorter and shorter. And despite the fact that they remain different mediums, how do you think these two realities can communicate even more better in the future?
Well, I do think that you're right. I think that the gaming world and the cinema are becoming closer and closer in many ways. Clearly, the cinematic style of movies has influenced game design. And I think that the level of action and spectacle has challenged film to get even more sophisticated in its complexity. So I already think that the influences go both ways. And I think that both are very important forms of art. And the other thing that they really share is both gaming and cinema are ways of people connecting. Whether it's in-game or in theater, these are forms of connection. And I think those are really important to so many of us.
I really agree. And there are several elements in the third act of the movie and in the showdown that I think it was possible to introduce in the movie after the merger between Fox and Disney. Correct if I'm wrong. And I assure you, I'm right. Okay.
Oh, you're right. You're right. There was always going to be this scene where Guy started using all these different tools and power-ups and weapons. But when Disney bought Fox, it gave us the opportunity to access a different toy chest.
Yeah.
And so we got to play with some fun toys.
At least in the cinema where I was, the journalists burst into thunderous and enthusiastic applause when...
It's every time, everywhere, every screening. I've seen it 6, 7 times. Every audience explodes like that. And it's such a great feeling to be in a movie theater where you have that eruption of energy.
But it also how you manage to direct and insert them beautifully in that moment. And this is why I want to ask you, would you like to direct a Marvel or DC cinecomic in the future? And if so, which ones?
I'm getting asked this question a lot because I do like making original films. I've never been given a film that was a franchise. So I do like making original films, but I do love the MCU. I also love Star Wars. And if that phone call arrived, I would definitely pick up, especially certain characters. I love Spidey. I love Deadpool. And we'll see. Anything's possible in the future.
Okay. Thank you, Shawn, for your time.
Thanks.